Hey guys, it's Milka. Welcome back to my channel, NutAeum. It is that time of month again. It is time for a monthly healing focus video for those of you who are interested in these. I just wanted to let you guys know thank you, or I wanted to appreciate you for a moment and say thank you for tuning into these readings. I know not everyone is necessarily focusing on healing or wanting to do so. People want sometimes things that they feel are a little bit more interesting. So I really appreciate you guys being here for this reading, for those of you that are. And this is a reading that I will continue to be doing every month just because I truly feel very strongly about this, and it's one of the reasons why I even really started this YouTube channel with tarot readings and oracle card readings. It's because I wanted to help people who wanted to have like a certain sense of healing, right? Because healing, at the end of the day, guys, healing is something that you do for yourself, right? It's not something that someone can force you to do. Even if you go to like a shaman or a healer or any one of those things, that person is not the one that's really healing you. That person is helping to facilitate the energy for your healing. That person is helping to shift certain energies within you so that you can heal yourself. And in fact, you started your healing by choosing to go to this person, right? So I just wanted to give you guys that little bit of empowerment to let you know that, well, first of all, I'm proud of you, for being here and for taking this step for yourself, even if it's just for a couple of you who are clicking on out of curiosity, the fact that you clicked on something to do with healing. It's a big step for a lot of people. So kudos to you. Okay. And before we get into our little selection, I just wanted to give my little plug for myself here. If you guys are interested in a private or personal reading, you can reach out to me either through the contacts page on my website or through my email. And also, those are fun. I record them for you guys. I love doing it for you, and I'm really grateful for the comments that you guys send back. I really appreciate it. They're very sweet. And also, if you guys are interested in a custom crystal bracelet, I'm not wearing one right now. I know I should be really plugging, right? You're supposed to wear the merchandise, but I'm gonna be real with you. I don't wear stuff all the time. There are only a couple of things that I wear every day, and I do wear those bracelets a lot, and they've helped me. So that's the reason why I offer them to other people as well. And they can be very cute. If you guys are curious about what some of those bracelets look like, I have pictures on my website as well. Some of them are a little rough, but that's just because I made them for certain clients, and I wasn't thinking of using it as, I wasn't thinking of taking a picture for advertisement. When I took those photos, I just took it because I was like, oh, this is kind of cute, so I just wanted to keep a photo of what those bracelets look like. So some of them are a little rough, some of them are a little bit more fancy looking, but at the end of the day, it's real. And those bracelets are charged with Reiki, light language, and they're custom made for whoever is requesting them. If you do choose to request a bracelet, you can also, again, either do that on the website or on my contacts page or through my email. And all you would have to do is just let me know what it is that you would like this bracelet to do for you, right? Because that's what we work on charging the bracelet with, like energy wise. And I pick custom crystals for you as well, based off of the things that you would either like to embody or bring into your life or have more of or focus on healing. So it is a whole custom experience. And so far, unless it's been requested, I haven't made a duplicate bracelet since. And again, it's only unless it's been requested. I've had a couple of people request something that I've already been wearing. And in that case, you know, that's just for funsies. So I do multiple options. But yes, without further ado, let's just get into this reading. You guys have 4 groups to choose from today. Surprise, surprise. It's not like there's always 4 groups to choose from. So for group 1, we have Archangel Gabriel with Divine Inner Strength. And also, before we even continue, I wanted to give you guys the collective energy, which will be the bottom of the deck energy for this particular deck. We have Archangel Lumiel with Light of Union. So I don't know why I really felt the need to share this card with you guys. Okay. Then we've got Gold Spectrum for group number 2. Okay. Group number 3, your card is Peace. Okay. And group number 4, you have Archangel Zadkiel with Compassion and Forgiveness. I really love this deck, and now that I'm doing, or I will be doing some deck reviews, I'm thinking of actually doing a little bit of a walkthrough of this deck as well. It is made by like an individual artist, you know, it's not published by like a big company. It's like self-published by the creator. So I love supporting those kinds of decks. So let me know if you guys would be interested in seeing more of these cards in like a walkthrough video. But I'm going to give you guys a moment to choose your cards, and then we'll get right into the reading. Hey group number 1, this is your group if you chose Archangel Gabriel with Divine Inner Strength. This is a really beautiful card. I didn't want to say it during the selection process because I didn't want to influence anybody in any way, but this card is just so beautiful, and it's I don't know if the camera is picking up the color because of the lighting. If I do a review of or a walkthrough of this deck, I'm gonna do it in a different location which has more true to color lighting, but this is just such a beautiful card. Okay, so I'm gonna ring this singing bowl for you guys. Ooh, that was a double click by accident. I'll set your card aside, and I just finished shuffling your cards, so we'll get right into it. For those of you guys who are new to this kind of reading on my channel, I'm going to give you a little bit of a breakdown. This reading is going to be basically 5 different sections. The first 2 sections are going to be what are you currently experiencing? And on the bottom, it will be what you have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of February, right? So, and then I'll explain the other sections as we go along. And this was actually going to be a great way to do a bit of an energy check in regards to the what are you currently experiencing to see if this is your group or not. So let's just get right into it. You guys have the Magician, the King of Cups, the 9 of Pentacles, the Hermit, the 9 of Wands, the 3 of Swords, the 5 of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, the 3 of Wands, and then we'll look at the rest when we get to them, to the sections. So I'll just set it aside here. Okie dokie, give me a moment just to see all of the cards together. And I don't know if it's straight or not, but let me see if I can straighten them out too. Okay, one moment, my friends. Okay, interesting. In regards to what you guys are currently experiencing, right? Where you guys are currently at. It's interesting you chose divine inner strength, right? Because that's kind of what I'm seeing here, in the sense that I feel like you guys are in a place where you're carving your own path. There's something very individual about your energy. It almost feels as though you have a sense of emotional maturity, so you understand where the haters or the people judging you or the people projecting onto you are coming from. So you're not judging them in return. You're just coming again from this place of understanding, because your emotional understanding and your emotional intellect, I can speak. Your emotional intelligence is very sharp, it's very tuned. With the Magician too, and like the Nine of Pentacles, again, I'm just seeing like you guys are in a place where you're working on forming your future. You're forming your life. With the Hermit and the Nine of Wands too, this is again indicating for me, like, especially with this Nine of Wands, you guys are standing out, right? So you're doing whatever you have to do for yourself, regardless of how people may perceive you, or those things may have held you back before, but I feel like you guys are in a place where you just can't take it anymore. You can't be held back anymore. You have to move forward. You've said that to yourself, you know, whether it was a New Year's resolution, you were like, this is the year, like, I'm not holding back anymore. I'm not keeping my, I'm not going to break my resolutions this year. You know, like, I'm getting a really strong sense of determination from you guys, because I think January was very hard for you. And so you guys are like, yeah, I'm not going, or January or maybe December for some of you guys. And you're like, I'm not going to be going through that again. I'm not going back to that place. I'm not going to be suffering anymore. Okay. And then as far as like suffering in holding yourself back. This is actually kind of giving me similar vibes on some level to not my last pick a card, but like the one before that. So I don't remember what that one was. Was it another monthly reading? I don't remember. But like one of the last group in that reading, I think it was like group 4. So not the last reading, but the reading before that. Group 4 had something like that, right? Where there was advice to like not hold back anymore, to like pursue the things that they want. Because it would just be too hard to come back into that cycle again. Like, you guys are coming out of that. You're actually going to be doing it. Even if it seems hard, even if it seems difficult, you guys are going through the process. You're taking steps, you know, even if the whole time as you take a step, right? Maybe before you could have been anal about it and you would be like, oh, this is too difficult or whatever, or like fearing judgment, right? Or working with perfectionism. Like, now you guys are at a point where you're just like, I need to put something out there because I'm not going back to how I was before. I need to change. I need to pursue what I'm pursuing. Like, I'm just not doing anymore. So like, F it, whatever. I'm putting out whatever I'm putting out. If it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not, but it's out there. You know, it almost feels like you guys are kind of nearing that type of a mindset and approach. As far as what you have the opportunity to leave, and I don't think it's maybe as aggressive, because there does seem to be a little bit of a calm with the Hermit as well, and like the King of Cups. It's giving off a calm vibe. So it's not like you guys are like super aggressively like, I can't stand the way my life was, I am changing it. It just feels more like I'm taking it step by step. You know, it feels very calm and collected. But yes, what you guys have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of February. So it's interesting because with this 3 of Swords, when it first fell out, it flipped over. So I actually saw the card. And the first thing that I thought of was guilt. And I made a mental note. I was like, Milka, do not forget this word. And then I forgot that I was thinking about that until I put down this card and revealed it to you guys on camera. And the moment I flipped it over, again, the first thing I heard was guilt. So we have guilt, we have ego with the 5 of Swords. For me, the 5 of Swords and the 5 of Wands are cards that talk about ego. Everyone reads differently, right? And they do have their own set meanings. But for me, whenever I see it, instantly it's like ego. And even here with this Knight of Pentacles as being something that you guys have the opportunity to leave behind in February. it's like the guilt around not pursuing whatever this is. You guys can leave that behind. They're saying you are taking the steps, so you don't have to make yourself feel guilty. You don't have to cry or worry over something that, it's almost like crying over spilt milk, right? Something that is no longer the case. You are changing that. So you don't have to feel guilty for how you were in the past. You don't have to have, like, you may feel moments where you're just like, I can't believe I was doing this to myself for so long. Like, I just can't do it anymore. I can't do it. I'm moving forward. You know, like almost as if you're convincing yourself or reminding yourself. And I feel like they're saying, like, anything that you felt that was hurting you in the past, in regards to whatever this is, right? Whatever it is that you guys are pursuing, whether it could just be individual freedom, right? It could just be you guys being unapologetically yourself, where you're just like, I don't care what people think about me anymore. I can't live like I'm somebody else. I can't live half, like as a half of my personality, as half of myself. I'm not tolerating that anymore. And then for some of you guys, it's a dream. And for some of you guys, it's just the way that you exist in the world. But yeah, so again, it's kind of like you guys are really, and I feel some of you have started releasing the guilt. Some of you, this is a general reading, right? So some of you guys have started releasing the guilt. Some of you guys need a little bit of a reminder, like, hey, start releasing this guilt, right? If you feel those same emotions come up, just let them go. Like, cry it out if you have to, right? Tears are a release, and just really let it go with those tears. Be like, okay, that's not me anymore. I'm moving forward. Turn those tears of grief, right, and guilt into tears of gratitude as you cry them out, and just start realizing that you are moving forward. You are progressing. You guys have made quite a bit of progress, okay? Even though it may not seem like it at times, the fact that you took one step brings you a step closer to what it is that you're trying to achieve. Then you take another step in a few days, and another step in another few days. Now you're 3 steps further. You're already on the path, you know? And even with this Knight of Pentacles, the energy that it's giving me is the energy of holding back. The energy of you guys feeling like you must be reserved, like you need to plan out methodically how you're going to go about it, plan it all completely before you can take the actions and all of this stuff. And it's like, you can leave that behind too. Trust that you're just, like, you doing this right now for yourself is you being divinely guided. Okay, so you can leave that behind too, that idea that you have to pace yourself and protect yourself from other people while you're going through this process for yourself. You don't have to worry about other people's energies. They can't affect you anymore, okay? You were just letting those people's energies affect you because of your own, like, feelings that you had in the past of being inadequate, and again, like that judgment. But now that you're moving past that, they can't affect you anymore. So just go for it. Okay. Another thing you guys have the opportunity to leave behind. Oh, what is that? Oh, isn't that the Warner Brothers? I hope that's not something that can get copyrighted. Anyway, we'll pretend it's not. It's okay. I can't change it now. I mean, I could cut it out, but that's work. I don't want to cut out any portion of the reading unless I have to. So with the Page of Wands and the 3, yeah. Ooh. Remember I was saying with this, I didn't even look at these. I completely forgot about these two. Now that's why I'm like, I didn't even address these. But with the Page of the Knight of Pentacles, that's exactly what I was saying. The same vibe with the 3 of Wands, where this person is planning, right? They're planning. Even this Page of Wands. Page of Wands is somebody who's all talk, right? They're like, this is what I'm going to do one day, and this is what I'm going to do, and this is what I'm going to do. And it's like, leave behind the what are you going to do's as well. Just go for it, okay? All right, now let's get into the next portion of the reading. Give me 1 second, y'all. So next we're going to be looking on the top. It's going to be, what is it? Oh yes, what is your material world focus in the month of March, and then what divine would, below that, what divine would like you to focus on healing in the month of March. Okie dokie, let us see. We have the Three of Wands. Interesting, because this is the material world focus, and that was the thing they said you have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of February. So it's interesting that it was literally the last card too, right? So it like trickled in to the material world focus. So I guess maybe you guys are going to be trying to plan out how to stop planning and just taking action and being guided. That's funny. Then we have the Empress, the King of Wands. Oh, the Prince of Cups. I didn't realize. Hold on. Oh. Yes. Okay, sorry guys. Had a brain fart. The High Priestess. The Ace of Swords. The Star. And we have the Four of Wands. The Eight of Stones, which is the Eight of Pentacles. Pentacles, the High Priestess. Interesting. Then we have Temperance. The Three of Cups. And the Fool. By the way, for those of you guys who are interested in this deck, I actually, or like the artwork of this particular deck, and we're going to get into these afterwards. So I actually did a walkthrough as my last video on this channel. It was a walkthrough of this whole deck. So if you guys are interested in seeing the artwork, it's so beautiful. So yeah, for those of you who are curious to see more of these cards. But okay, now let me see. Let me see what I can see. Okay. Let's take it in sections. So this is, okay. So what you guys are working on in a material sense in the month of March, right? What is going to be the focus materially in your material world? So again, it's kind of like that planning. So I'm seeing maybe like the first week of March, or like the first few days, like maybe until March 3rd, you guys are planning on how to take action. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to plan, and then I'm just going to be taking action. Okay. Cause I'm seeing you guys doing it. You're taking the action. So that's really impressive, because you guys really are in that phase where you're ready to move forward. And that's what's happening. You have the Empress, you have the King of Wands, you have the Star, the High Priestess, the Prince of Cups. These are like the only minor arcana, just basic minor arcana card here is the Three of Wands. And that is like a trickle from what you have the opportunity to leave behind in February, right? So this is very impressive, because you guys have beautiful cards here. So your material world focus is not just going to be on inner abundance and peace, but really it's like I'm seeing you guys getting excited. You're getting excited for your dream. So maybe you spent like February and the beginning parts of March discovering more about yourself, right? And now you're coming into a place where you're figuring out how you can take the approach to pursue the thing that you feel so aligned with, that maybe you didn't allow yourself to pursue before, right? Like again, this is kind of mirroring group 4 from not last reading, but the reading before that. So it almost makes me feel like you guys chose that group, then you had like this eye-opening experience, and now you're kind of like doing the steps, you know? So if that's the case, I would love to hear from you guys in the comments, and I'm really proud of you for taking action. It's being reflected in the cards here. Yeah, I'm just seeing, because you guys are having this, like, it's almost like an energetic glow up, you know? It's like you have been refurbished. Like you guys were on snooze in January and maybe end of December and even parts of February. And now you guys are coming alive, like full force, you know, you're coming out of the cocoon. You're just exuding this beautiful energy and presence, and everybody is noticing it. It feels like there's going to be like a trickle of emotional moments yes, in March, but that's just life. Overall, it seems like it's going to be more happy. And I know this is material world focused, but I feel like they're really emphasizing your emotions. Like I'm even seeing more playfulness. Like you guys are just putting on like your big boss energy pants, you know, and you're just like going for it. Like it's incredible. And you're so attuned to, like you're so attuned to your inner wisdom and to your intuition and to divine guidance. Even with this Ace of Swords and the High Priestess, this is being attuned to that divine guidance. Okay, you hear, and with the star, that's ancestral guidance too. Like you guys have a lot of support coming through for you in the month of March and just in general in your life as you pursue this. I think this is a really big shift for you guys in your life because of all the support that you have coming through. So like, this is it. That's why I guess they're saying you can leave behind all those things that you felt in the past, or like, oh, the grief that came up and all this. It no longer serves you because you're actually doing it this time. It's your time now. Okay? And while you're doing this, what divine would like you to focus on healing, right? We've got the Four of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, the High Priestess again. So the High Priestess, the fact that the High Priestess is coming up on both rows, right? This is your material world focus. And so again, this is kind of telling me like they're asking you to continue. And it's not something you're not already doing or working on, but they're just saying we want you to continue to put your faith, your dreams, and your hopes into our hands, like your guides and your teams and your angels. Your team and your angels are saying that. Put your trust, put your faith in us, in divine, in source, and know that you are taken care of. We are making your dreams a reality. So they're asking you to continue to have faith as you work on those things, right? There is a sense of like renewed passion or energy or desire, and they just want you. It's interesting because this is about healing focus, right? But it's not really talking about healing. It's more so, I think they're trying to keep you, because remember, even here, we're talking about your emotions. I think they're trying to keep you in a certain, to remind you to stay in a certain place, right? And they're asking you to like focus on feeling supported, right? So continue to feel the support that is around you and do creative things that bring you joy. Work specifically, whatever. So again, for some of you guys, I'm feeling like this has to do with like a career goal or dream or a long time desire. It's like they're asking you to take the steps, right? With this eight of stones, they're asking you to take the steps and just put your faith and trust. Like there's not even healing emphasis in these three cards. It's just more like keep finding the joy in what you love, in what you do, and keep faith in us and just watch your dreams unfold. Give us a little bit of time and we're going to make it happen. You know, so that's really sweet. And then with Temperance, the Three of Cups and the Fool. Oh my goodness, you guys, this is so interesting because again, what they're asking you to focus on, healing. Temperance is about balance. I think this is them talking about, again, they're talking about your emotions a lot here. So there's two cards emphasizing in regards to your healing to stay focused on joy. Right? So they're asking you, be grateful, feel happy, lean on people. You're not alone. You're not alone anymore. There are people who actually accept you as you are because you took that stand and said, this is exactly who I'm going to be. And there are people who accept you as you are. So you're not alone anymore. Okay? So they're asking you to continue to call on people, to feel support and to have lots and lots of joy, and just to remember this is a completely new experience. The Fool card is here. This is brand new, no comparisons to last time. Like they were saying with what you should release, right? Release the planning, release the guilt, release the ego associated, which again, you guys have already started going through that. You're already on the path of doing that. But they're just continuing to emphasize this is a new path. Just keep seeing it as that and charge it with happiness, joy, positive energy, and excitement, and faith and trust. And take the steps that you've already been guided to be taking. Okay? Wow, interesting. Your healing focus is not really so much like emphasis, like some people will have an emphasis on, oh, there needs to be healing in the heart for this and this. For you guys, it's like, no, you guys have already been doing what you need to be doing. Just, we want you to, like, the healing is focusing on the fact that you're going to get whatever it is that you want. So just have faith, have trust, and be happy. Allow yourself to be happy. This is such a sweet message. Okay, now we're going to get the final messages for you guys. So we have the tiger, the beaver, or beaver, the octopus. This is the waxing crescent, the north node, adapt with chameleon, Aquarius with sense, and Ophiuchus with heal. Okay. Wow. This is so funny because these three cards are talking about the stuff that we were talking about like literally a second ago, right? Adapt, as in this is a new situation. Things are going to be different. So it's time for you to kind of like, again, you have to throw away the past. It's a new beginning. It's a new experience. You're not approaching it the same, right? Reach out for help and all this stuff. With the heal, again, like the healing is the fact that it's a new beginning and you're pursuing it in a new way. That is the healing. You know what? That makes sense. Yeah, because what you're really healing is the fact that you thought that every time it was going to be the same result, which again, you started already shifting that mindset. So I feel like this is like a more complete healing, right? Because it's like you already started shifting that mindset. Now you're engraving that into your body. Now you're living it. And then sense is honestly giving me the sensation of like, this is the support. Feel the support around you. Okay. With the tiger and the beaver and the octopus. Also the waning crescent. The waning crescent is giving off new beginnings, but it's not the same thing as a new moon, right? A new moon is an absolutely new beginning. Sorry, not waning. A waxing crescent is when the moon is starting to become full. And the north node. So this is already talking about the fact that you have already taken the steps. You're already on the path. This isn't an absolute new beginning where you're starting from absolute scratch. No, you've already started having this mindset shift. You've started having this approach for a couple of months now, right? So you're not starting from scratch. You have a little something here. And this is part of your life's purpose. Whatever it is that you guys are pursuing is actually part of your purpose. That's the reason why you care so much about it. And with the tiger and the beaver and the octopus, again, with the octopus, I'm feeling like you guys are going to be kind of busy. Like, again, they're saying reach out to people, have fun, go, experience, have joy, and take the steps that you've got to take. So I'm seeing you guys kind of being a little bit busy and finding that balance between pursuing the things and having fun. That's kind of really the main focus of March for you guys. They're like, have fun, do the stuff for you, okay? And then with tiger and beaver, that's the graduation song. So interesting, you're singing the graduation song. I feel like you have this sweet inner nature, right, that is still there. But now, like, you're giving off this big persona. So again, they're just kind of reminding you, like, there's no, it's more of like a proud. We're proud of you for not playing small anymore. We're proud of you for striving to be the fullest, biggest potential and version of yourself, the true version of yourself. And you're both. You don't have to play one version on one moment and be the other, you know, because the squid is all about multitasking. It's all, look at all of those octopus, look at all of those tentacles, right? Multifaceted. So this is about like really embodying. So for those of you that I was saying, it's like embodying your full self, right? They're kind of like, I feel like touching on that again. And then for the final message with the dice, we've got the number 6, Neptune, Virgo, and the number 12. 12 is 12 is the Hanged Man. And then we have Virgo. And the 6th house is Virgo as well. Virgo is making me think of that Hermit card that came out. And then you have Neptune, which has a certain sense of seclusion to it as well. So these are all like introspective numbers and planets and stuff. So give me one sec. Yeah, I feel like they're encouraging you to continue doing what it is exactly what you're doing. You're already started having that like deep diving thoughts and realizations, and started taking the actions in regard to them. You're not going to lose yourself by hanging out with people as well. I think they want you to know that too. You're not going to lose yourself. Maybe you were drained before, like you'd start feeling good and then you'd hang out with someone and then you would lose your energy. Remember, this is a new beginning. You're not going to be drained. Go out, have fun, meet people. People are going to help you to accomplish your goal, whether it's just being more of yourself and you're going to be meeting your tribe and people who encourage you to be more of yourself, or it's this like dream pursuit, right? You'll find people who are going to help you or encourage you or be a support system or give some kind of an inspiration that you wouldn't have thought of. So go out there and meet people. Okay, guys? All right, group 1, that was your message. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, I'd appreciate if you gave this video a thumbs up. I'd also appreciate if you guys subscribe to the channel, and I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below in regards to, well, if this was, like ringing it, like what this part of the reading was resonating for you guys. Is it a personality thing? Is it a dream pursuit? What are you guys pursuing? I'm sending you guys lots of love, okay? Also, if you guys are interested in a personal private reading or in a custom crystal bracelet, you can reach out to me either through the contacts page on my website or through my email. Also, I'm trying to be more active on Instagram now, you guys, so I have my Instagram linked below. Yes. So Instagram, and yes, basically that's it. And I think I will try TikTok. I don't know. I think that's one of my goals for this year, be more active on social media. All right. I'm sending you so much love again, group 1, and I'm really proud of how far you've come. Keep up the great work, and don't feel pressured to keep it up. Just know that you're naturally already in the process of doing so. Okay? You're perfect as you are. All right, guys. Lots of love and light. Bye, guys. Hi, group 2. Welcome to your reading. This is your group if you chose the, well, I can pick it up, the Gold Spectrum card. All right, you guys, I just finished shuffling your cards, so I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to ring the singing bowl for you. And let's get right into your reading. So for those of you who are new to the channel, this reading is kind of split up into 5 sections. The first 2 sections will be presented together. On the top, you'll have an energy check, which basically is saying, where are you at the moment in your life? Then on the bottom, we're going to have what you have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of February. And then I'll explain the other sections as we get to them. So let us dive in. We've got the 10 of Cups, the 5 of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, the Emperor, the Hierophant, the Page of Swords, the 5 of Swords, and the Moon. All right, give me a moment to see what I see, my friends, and then I will dive into your reading. So let's start with the energy check portion. So what are you guys currently experiencing? And if this is not your group, then you may try choosing another group. So based off of if this is resonating for you, this part or not. Okay. So it's interesting because I'm kind of seeing a little bit of mood swings. So I feel like you guys have a lot of stuff going on in your life. Like, you've got stuff to be grateful for, right? There's good stuff going on for you guys. But I feel like you guys are kind of shifting between gratitude and enjoying those things and seeing the blessings that are currently happening for you, and kind of still stuck in an old emotional state. So this is something that's happening as a collective thing. A lot of Oh my. Sorry about that, you guys. A lot of people experienced it in January, especially, right? Where they felt like they were kind of revisiting old emotions. So I feel like you guys have come out of that a little bit more, right, than where you were at before, but you're still kind of battling with that a little bit. So you're falling into kind of like sad things, or maybe binge watching shows, and you're watching like dramas, and because right now you're like very sensitive, right? So maybe you're picking up on the emotions from those shows, from the drama in the shows, from the heartbreak in the shows, and it's like touching on the past experiences that you've had that no longer are really relevant in your life. So it's like taking you from this place of gratitude to being flip-floppy with this emotional place based off of the stuff that you're like consuming, right? The media and the people around you. I'm also picking up that I'm feeling a little bit of like you guys are trying to stay on top of your life as well at the moment with the Emperor. Like it's almost like you're trying to take charge of your life, right? And I don't know, I feel like because of this particular card where you're like good and happy, and then you kind of fall into this, and then you try to get yourself back to that place where you're like, why am I doing this? I have a lot of great things going for me, and a lot of blessings and opportunities and this. Like, it's not true, this sadness or this feeling of lack or something. So it's almost like you're kind of putting your ego forward a little bit to try to get yourself out of this state. So like you're using your ego to try to make yourself come out of here, you know, which is interesting. So it's like you're trying to get a hold of your life, or a handle on what you're going through with this emotional thing. And then as far as what you have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of February, well, for one, I'm feeling the thing you have the opportunity to leave behind is this emotional flip-flopping. I feel like March is going to be a little better for you guys, but obviously if you know that watching a certain show or listening to a certain type of music keeps putting you into this place, it may be time to actually cut it out. And I'm not talking about being like, I'm going on a detox of this particular thing, or I'm going on a cleanse of this thing. I'm not going to watch it for like 3 days or listen to it for 3 days. It's like, no, child, you need to cut it out for like 3 weeks, you know, like at least 2 weeks. You need to get yourself back on track. So they're giving you the opportunity of kind of like coming back into a more stability emotionally. This may lead into the first couple of weeks of March too. So it may take a little bit of a time to adjust. Another thing you have the opportunity to leave behind. Yeah, really, it feels like revisiting of the past. It feels like that stuckness, that like flip-flopping of emotions. You have the opportunity to leave it behind because you weren't always like that. Like, you've gotten to a happier place, you know? It's just the stuff that was happening astrologically, and then you kind of fell into a little bit of a rabbit hole, and it's still stuff energetically is going on in the world. It's not as bad as it was in January and early February, end of December. So I feel like really the biggest thing that you guys are being shown you have the opportunity to leave behind is this emotional, mental state, this flip-floppiness to get you back on track. Because you guys are past this, you know? This is just kind of like an energetic pickup of stuff around. Let me see if there's anything else before we move on. Yeah, that really seems to be the biggest thing, that it's like the mental state, right? It's your mental state, the flip-floppiness. Okay, so let's see the next categories. So that's actually a good thing, you know, because I can understand how this can be a very conflicting place to be at. It's very confusing, and I feel like you guys probably know it's not your emotion, but it is at the same time. And it's like you have moved past this thing. You have. Give yourself credit. Don't think that this is yours. You're just empathically picking up on this, like through media and people around you. Okay, next categories are going to be what are your material focuses in the month of March, and then what divine would like you to focus on healing in the month of March. Okay, so we've got Four of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, the High Priestess. Look how beautiful this High Priestess card is. I always love this card. The Hermit, the Mother of Cups, so that's the Queen of Cups. This is also a beautiful card. In my opinion, the Two of Wands, the Daughter of Swords, so that's the Page of Swords. Then we have the Magician, the Flower of Thunder, so that is the Queen. No, hold on, it's the Seed, the, oof, oh, come on, I know it. It's the Seed, the, yes, this is the Queen of Swords, Flower of Thunder. And then the Four of Wands. Oh, again, interesting. And then we have the World. You guys have a lot of major arcana coming up here. And suits, like court cards, sorry. Winter, interesting. The Eight of Wands. So for those of you guys, by the way, and we'll look into the other cards once we finish with these next two categories. For those of you guys who are interested in this deck in particular, or like in the artwork and stuff, recently my last video actually was a walkthrough of this deck. So if you guys wanted to see the whole deck and the artwork, it's so beautiful. You can check out that video as well to see an in-depth look at what the cards really look like. Also, it's interesting, the color scheme here is very similar in the three cards that you guys got. So let's get to the material world focus first. So your material world focus in the month of March. It's interesting, right? Because since you have the Four of Wands here and the Four of Wands here, it's like the thing that you guys are being asked to focus on healing is the thing that you guys are actually going to be doing in the month of March. So I feel like you guys are really diving into working on addressing this. The material world focus seems to also be on you in particular, not so much your external world, but your internal world. So it's interesting, we were talking about like the mental state that you guys are kind of having a little bit of a flip-flop thing going on, and emotionally, right? So I feel like that's what you guys are really going to be focusing on in the month of March, is kind of getting yourself out there. It seems like there's more self-nurturing, more kind of like finding the balance between, okay, I can watch this show or listen to this song once a week, or after all of my tasks are done, no more than like 5 days a week, you know, and 3 days break, just focus on me replenishing all of this, like some kind of a balance. You guys are working on finding that balance, and to kind of realize, I feel like in March, really the focus, again, it's more so on your internal world, even though this is the material world focus. And it's like you guys realizing how far you've come and addressing like the emotions that you're the emotions that you're feeling, and kind of like releasing them, realizing that the ones that aren't yours do not belong with you. I think you're going to really start to see where these emotions are coming from. The people around you, the shows, the TV, the music, where you live, your community. You're going to really start to see what is triggering this. And I feel like you guys are going to just start kind of like a self-protection for yourself, And like, even with this Two of Wands, in this particular deck, when I see this Two of Wands, it makes me think of like a mirror, you know, like this self-reflection. Like you're really going to be diving deep, looking into what needs to be addressed, taking control. And it's interesting because I'm looking at the Emperor card right now, right? And this is also like the seat of power. It's like you guys are taking back control by, and you guys had the Emperor in the first section too, right? So it's like you guys are taking back that control of your life, of your mind, of you, right? And then as far as what Divine would like you to focus on, healing. So it's interesting, right? Because Divine would like you to focus on what it is that you're already doing, finding the joy in life again, celebrating, having fun, gaining control, because this is the Queen of Swords, right? She's a master of her mind. So it's gaining control of your mind again. With the Magician too, the Magician is also, it's the master. So they're asking you to kind of realize, which is the stuff that you're already doing. So it's great because the things that your guys are focusing on are what Divine would like you to focus on, healing or addressing. And that is like mastering your inner world, realizing where those things resonate within you, that they make you fall into old emotions, and realizing like what emotions are still lingering within you and how many of them you've actually already released. And it's just like an echo, you know? So that's what they're asking you to focus. It's like really a lot of self-reflection, kind of going within and finding that joy and happiness and realizing like, oh, I'm not actually in this place anymore. I'm really not. And then let me see what else we've got. And it's interesting because the Eight of Wands is about motion, right? And the world, it's like coming full circle. I mean, look, this person is an astronaut, kind of like in space because there's Earth, and then you have hot air balloons. So it's like they're not 100% in space, but they're like exiting the, you know, the planet essentially. So this is all making me think of, at least the depiction here, of like the mind, right? It's your consciousness. And winter is like desolate, but it's also the time for isolation and rejuvenation and hibernation. It's rest and relaxation so that you can come back stronger. It's like a deep analysis and like uprooting of what's going on. Like you have to, it's like the death. Fall is when things are dying. Winter, it's already like dead, right? So they're asking you to do that, to just kind of start, not from scratch, but like a clean slate. Create a clean slate for yourself and realize you're not going to be going through what you're going through for a long time. It's not permanent, but you just need to be reminded of that. And unfortunately, the only person who can remind you guys is you, you know? So I think that's why they're saying we want you to focus on this. We want you to focus on joy. We want you to focus on remembering that you are the master creator of your life. You can change this. And you know the steps to take too. You've just got to do them. Okay? And now we're going to look into the final messages as well. So 1 second. Let me just move these cards. Shift them all around, because you guys chose the gold spectrum too, right? Gold is divine. Gold is pure. It's raw energy. That's what you guys are, right? You have the Magician. That's what you are. Your creation itself. You're not digressed back 10 steps or 10 years. It just feels like you are because you guys think that you are, okay? So then we have the Bear. Yeah, it's interesting. Again, this is a nurturing card. The Otter, and this is all about fun and play and joy. Wow, look at this. We have the beginning of summer. The beginning of summer, you guys. That's literally about having fun, going out into the world. We went from winter to the beginning of summer. Right? And then you have 10th house, the new moon. Yeah, new beginning, starting fresh. The 10th house is also talking about, oh, and Pisces. Also, Pisces is an ending and a beginning, right? It's also deep understanding deep thought, intuition, and diving deep into emotions as well. It can have certain similar traits on some levels to Pluto, at least in my personal opinion. And then you've got with the 10th house, right? This is the top of your chart. And again, the 10th house is making me think of that level of mastery, which we were getting with the Emperor energy coming through and the Magician. So we've also got wisdom. Yes. Adapt and fear. Yeah, with adapt and fear and wisdom, it's like all of the stuff that you need is already within you. You guys know, the steps to take. You've just got to actually take them. I feel like the universe is kind of calling you out just a little bit, with love. They're like, come on, you know what you've got to do. Just do it. It's okay that you haven't done it up till now, or you didn't feel like you were up to the place, or like you were in the emotional state or mental state to be doing it. You're there now, and you can shift this perspective and this mindset and this place for you. Okay? It's time to self-nurture. It's time to have fun. It's time to find that joy again and realize that things are actually very sunny. Okay? And final message here with the dice, we've got South Node, the Moon, Scorpio, and the 12th house. Yeah, okay, so that's what I was saying, right? With the Pisces being another like ending and new beginning, because we also have the new moon, and we got Scorpio. And I was saying, like, for whatever reason, this Pisces was giving me very similar vibes to like it was reminding me how Neptune and Pluto can have certain similar traits and what they bring out in people, like certain things. I mean, they're also very different things as well, but there are a couple of things they have in common. And then with the South Node, it's talking about the past. Again, it's just past stuff, and the moon is your emotions, it's your mind. So and Scorpio is death and rebirth as well, right? 12th house is the ending to the beginning, to bring in the new beginning. So it's time for you guys to end it. Again, it's just that advice of like, you guys are basically almost there. Hold out a little longer and kind of hold out your hands to yourself and help yourself get up again, because you guys can do it. Okay? And when you need help, rely on the universe. But I feel like the universe has been trying to help you guys, not gonna lie. It's just maybe been a little hard for you guys to take the hand up until now, but now you've had this little reminder, so you got it. Okay? All right, group 2, that was your reading. I know it wasn't the most happy-go-lucky, but I guess the good news is that this emotional or mental state that you guys are currently in, or that you're like flip-flopping between, it's not permanent, okay? And it's not even yours for the most part. Not anymore. A lot of the stuff that you guys have already gone through or dealt with, okay? So you've got this. I believe in you guys. You can overcome this. And that was your reading, group 2. I'm sending you guys so much love and light. Yes. If you guys are interested in a private personal reading or in a custom crystal bracelet, you can either reach out to me through my contacts page on my website or through my my Instagram, my email. But you could, I suppose, reach out to me through Instagram too, as I'm trying to be more active on Instagram. So I would appreciate your support. Because I really am. I am trying. It's like I just have to get myself to do it. So I'm working on it. I'm getting posts ready. But yeah, group 2. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I believe in you. Okay? Bye, guys. Hey, group 3. This is your group. If you chose the peace card, I shall give you a close-up of it again. Look how beautiful. It looks like heaven. And I just finished shuffling your cards, you guys, so I'm just going to ring the singing bowl for you and we'll get right into the reading. Okay, so this reading is going to be broken up into 5 different sections. The first one is going to be an energy check, so you guys can see if this is truly your reading or not. The second section is going to be below that, and that's going to be what you have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of February. I'll explain the rest as we go along with the reading, okay? So we've got the 9 of Cups, the 3 of Wands, the Ace of Wands, the 6 of Swords, the 8 of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles. Ooh wee, my nose just got so itchy. Oh my. The King of Wands. Interesting duo. The Chariot. Ooh. The Magician. Wow. And the Queen of Cups. This is crazy, you guys. It's crazy because all of the, like, none of these are just regular minor arcana. They're either court cards or major arcana cards. So that's pretty crazy, but we'll look at that in a second. Let's start with the energy check. So what you guys are currently experiencing. Give me a moment. I feel like you guys are walking away from a lot of things in your life that no longer serve you. I think you guys are pretty okay. Like, it's not like overwhelming joy or happiness. I wouldn't classify it just as content. Like, I feel like you guys are like, I'm good, I'm okay, you know? And you guys are kind of walking into slightly more clear waters, to be honest. It's how it's feeling, like you guys are getting out of a little bit of a fog. So it's interesting that you chose peace. I also feel as though, ooh, child. Okay. Some of y'all, I'm just going to say it how I see it, okay? Do not come for the messenger, but I feel as though some of you guys are quite horny, okay? I feel like you guys are a little, yes, in need of sexual fulfillment. So yes, I feel like that is what I'm getting from you guys. Like, I see, again, it feels like emotionally you guys are like not here, not there. It's not like you're not depressed, you're not sad. Like, I actually feel like you're stepping away from some heavier or like some lower emotions. I wouldn't say heavier. It feels like you were experiencing things. I think this was a collective thing, to be honest with you guys, because it's something that I've seen with a lot of clients as well. In January, a lot of people were kind of going through it, and it trickled into February. Now people are, for the most part, stepping out. So I feel like that's kind of reflecting what's going on with you guys too. But yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. It's not like it's not unhappiness. Like, there is a sense of contentment there. Like, there is a sense of like, I'm good, I'm okay. You know, it doesn't feel like I'm ecstatic, but it feels like I'm okay. Like, I think you're coming into the place, but it's okay, because I feel like it's going to be growing to more joy and happiness too. It's just you guys are coming out of that little hiccup, I would say. And yes, as you are coming out of it, I am seeing your sexual desires coming out too. So I just say what I see. I say what I see, and that's it. And let me see if I'm getting anything else from this top row before we move on to the next section. Yeah, I feel like you guys are also observing yourself, or like you're seeing yourself moving out of that place too. Like, you can see, it's almost like you're having a bird's eye view of your mind right now. So it's very interesting. Even throughout the experience that you guys have been going through, it's like initially you had a bird's eye view, and then maybe you got a little too emotionally invested because you like stayed there. So again, this feels like a collective thing, to be honest with you. But yeah, you guys are coming out. I also feel like you guys are getting messages from your guides that maybe, just maybe, you could have been ignoring. Not intentionally, obviously, not maliciously. I just think you're trying to navigate your life, but there's like a specific guide or somebody that is coming through, and they're trying to kind of get your attention. And I feel like you're going to start receiving their messages again. And I feel like you knew what, like, it's not that you were just being cold or anything. I just think maybe you guys got tired of waiting to hear something. And so you kind of were having just a little moment, you know? So it's okay. That happens. It's human, right? And your guides do not judge you or are not upset at you about that. I just think that you guys felt like you needed a break, and you were kind of done or tired with hearing certain messages. And yeah, so you guys are kind of like, okay, I get it. Like, I get it. Okay. You know, so you're like not listening to repeats maybe that you guys were getting hints of. You're just like, yes, I get it. And then you change the subject by doing something different in your life, or like doing something else, you know, as opposed to just kind of focusing on the thing that like you got that little nugget or insight for in your mind. But again, that's okay. I see you guys kind of stepping out of that as you're stepping out of this. So you're already in the process of stepping out of that. You're going to be seeing more clearer messages from your guides too. A lot of people are going to be communicating with you guys, I feel like, energetically, and even in person. I feel like you guys, well, I don't know about in person. So I feel like energetically, a lot of people are going to be communicating with you guys. It's like you were on a hiatus or a break or something, and now you're coming back into the world. And then what you guys have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of February. So this is very, very interesting because you guys have like all people. This is all people. So give me a moment. So this card flipped over when I was shuffling. And when I saw this card, the first thing I thought of was like mother energy. So it's not like you're leaving behind your mother, but I feel like her energy, or a maternal figure in your life, like their energy is no longer going to be impacting you as strongly. I feel like they're not going to have as a big of a hold on you energetically anymore. And I feel like with this King of Wands, it's kind of talking about a father figure as well. So I feel like for both of you, it's like a mother and a father figure. It's almost like the parental figures in your life are not going to have as much of a hold on you. Like I feel like you're just going to be moving on from that, like the emotional hold. I feel like there is an emotional, like you felt like there was an emotional expectation of you to meet a certain need or requirement. And I feel like you guys are going to be working on, this is going to trickle into March, okay? But you guys are going to be working on releasing that. I also feel as though you guys are going to go through this thing where you're going to want to stop running away. And this is interesting because I'm not picking up that a lot of you guys are constantly on the run, but I feel like you guys are finally gonna, maybe in your living situation, you know, you're like, because we do have the parents coming up, and not all of you guys live with parental figures, but this could just be like friends even that have very strong like mom, dad vibes, you know, or they try to parent you as well. Though I am getting more so parental figures, especially with this King of Wands. But again, apply as, you know, this is a general reading. So apply as it fits in your story in regards to who these people are. Another thing that you guys are gonna, yeah, so I feel like you guys are not gonna be running anymore. You're not gonna be moving backwards, I should say, anymore, right? You're not gonna be taking the steps back. Like this, I'm noticing the keyhole here, so it's making me think like you guys are locked in place. Like even if there's a moment where you're not moving forward, you're just not moving back anymore either. You're staying where you are until you're ready to move forward again. So that's pretty good. Again, I feel like this is trickling into March, so you guys are going to be working on this throughout the month, okay? I do also feel like you have another thing that you could leave behind. Yeah, it's this like, this is also that emotional thing that we were talking about with that Queen of Wands. It's like this nostalgic, weird place where you're not 100% happy. Like there's like a little bit of an influence of something. So you're going to be stepping away from that too, which we already see you guys are in the process of doing so anyway. Okay, so let's get into the next section of your reading. What's interesting is that there were so many people there. So I think it's also people's influence on you energetically. You're getting the opportunity to really be able to kind of protect yourself. It's not even that people are trying to influence you, you know, I just think that maybe you've allowed it for so long that because you guys are empaths and you naturally pick it up. So I think it's kind of like, you chose peace because that's what you're going to be feeling or having, okay? So the next two sections are going to be what is your material world focus in the month of March, and then what divine would like you to focus on healing in the month of March. Okay, so we have the Four of Swords, interesting, the Ten of Swords, Strength, Eight of Cups again, we have the Sun, Here comes the sun. The Four of Swords again. Oh my. All the focus on healing, you guys. And the Devil. And that's that horny energy, you guys. Oh my gosh. Y'all are horny as heck. What the heck? This is just so funny that is so strongly coming through. Then we have the Eight of Cups. Again, what the heck? That's the third time for you guys. The Nine of Wands. The Seed of Stones. So that is the the Page of Pentacles. The Hierophant. Summer. The Five of Pentacles. The Eight of Wands. And I'm gonna reveal the rest of the cards as we get to the section for them. So when we get to the final section of the reading. For those of you guys, by the way, who are interested in this deck right here, I did use it in my last reading as well. The cards are so beautiful. If you're interested in the artwork, the last video that I posted actually was a walkthrough of this deck. So if you wanted to see what the other cards look like, you can check out that video. Okay, now let us see. So it's interesting how the color scheme of all of these cards match very much the card that you guys chose with Peace, right? And like this, I said it looks like heaven. So there's like this cloudiness and all of the like clouds and this pale blue sky. So you guys have the Four of Swords twice. For me, the Four of Swords is a healing card, especially when I see it like here. So this is like contemplation. You also have the Ten of Swords and strength and the Eight of Cups. So remember how we were talking about you guys are going to be dealing with those emotions and like walking away from those things. And it's going to be trickling into this month. So that's what I'm seeing here. This is the trickle, right? So this is the transition where you walk away from it and boom, the sun. And then there's more healing. Okay, so I feel like that's what you guys are going through. And as you guys are stepping away from this like melancholy or this hurt that other people's hurt or other, wherever it is that you're picking up that you were picking up that energy from, or like that weird foggy phase that you were in with this like ego's perspective, right? Like a third person perspective of your life that you just started to, after a while, kind of fall into again. I feel like you're seeing where those things, like what triggered you to feel as though that was your reality. You're stepping away from it. You have a lot of divine support around you guys. Oh, didn't I say actually your guides are coming through to give you messages? Yes. Okay, I'm seeing it again. They're definitely coming through. You've got energetic people around you sexually too, you guys. So I think it's because you are feeling the heat, and so you're emitting the heat, and so a lot of people's heat energy may be directed towards you too. So it's kind of like a little bit of a brace yourself. Maybe that's why you guys are going to be focusing a lot on being able to separate your energy from other people's energy, or from picking up other people's energy in the month of March. Let's see. Yes, that's just the heat. You guys are packing the heat. Like I'm telling you, you guys are radiating. You are a radiator, okay? And as you walk away from this other stuff, which again, your guides with the Strength card, I'm just seeing your guides are so supportive of you. They're so strongly around you. And like how I said this Peace card makes me think of heaven. I feel like heaven is with you, you know, like God, the universe, source, it is with you. Your angels, your team, you're so guided, you're so strongly protected. Like it is incredible, it is amazing. Just like they never abandon you. You are never abandoned. You know, even if you go through these like little periods of desolate emotion, or not desolate, but you know, like this weird emotional funk, it's like you guys kind of know that you're never abandoned. I feel like it's been engraved in you now a little bit. You're starting to absorb that into your physical body more. So yes, you're not abandoned. Okay. Now in regards to what Divine would like you to focus on, healing, right? Because the material world focus is really healing. What divine wants you to focus on healing is walking away from that state, right? That emotional state that we were talking about with the Nine of Wands. It's also talking about that isolation. So you kind of were like in hibernation a little bit. You kind of went a little bit in. So remember I was saying like people are going to be a big part of your life now. Like there's going to be more people. So I feel like, did I say that in this group? I don't remember. Was that the last group? Wow, I'm sorry, guys. Well, anyway, if it was part of your reading, it was part of your reading. So another thing they want you, I think with the Hierophant here too, they're kind of saying like, we want you to get to a point, if you can, where you don't try to tune us out, or where you don't kind of brush over when we're giving you a message. You're not just like, yeah, I get it. Look at it for a second, then get back to what you're doing, you know? It's like, oh, I'm getting a message. Okay, I'm going to sit here and listen to you. Like, they're just like, we want to continue having communication with you, like, as long as possible, you know? So it's not like they're forcing you or anything, but they're just like, we want to keep talking to you. We love you, you know? So I think that's cute. That's sweet. Another thing to heal, it's really the things, I feel like it's tiny insecurities. Like you guys already started taking action regardless of insecurities, but little insecurities come up. So I feel like almost it's still gonna come up. You're gonna overcome it. It's not something you have to actively be doing too much on. I think as you continue to overcome those insecurities, like by taking action regardless of how you feel about them, they're gonna start going away, right? Just naturally. So I think this is kind of a reminder a little bit to say yes. Just continue saying yes to opportunities. Like note if you're starting to feel a little like, I don't know if I want to do this. Like, I don't feel like it. Just be like, hey, I asked for an opportunity. The universe, divine, my guides gave me an opportunity. I'm saying yes to it. Because if I say no, I'm just having the same result, you know? So I feel like, again, this is something you guys already know. It's just a little bit of a reminder, okay? Anything else they would like you to focus on healing? So summer, and then we have the Five of Pentacles. So this is again like that. And the Eight of Wands. So this is being able to realize, like, again, this summer is making me think of that Nine of Cups in the beginning, right? It's like that content. I'm content. I'm happy. And then there's that swing that you're walking away from, or that is like this Ten of Swords that is including this healing. I think the biggest step here is that they're reminding you, like, there are seasons in life, seasons in emotion. And as long as when you get to this wintry place, you're going to keep walking, because this is all about motion. Eight of Wands is all about motion. It's quick, fast moving, right? So it's like you're not regressing, you're moving forward continuously. And you did have that opportunity to leave behind, right, that we were talking about with the Chariot previously. So I think this is interesting. And so let me see if I'm getting anything else before we move on to the final section, which will be final messages or additional messages. Yeah, they're just reminding you to continue doing what you're doing by walking away from the things that no longer serve you, and kind of like realizing who you are and being true to that. So it's really, it feels very generic, your messages. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it's more so just giving you guys, in regards to like anything else that I can add, it will feel very generic. So it's like you guys are you're already on the path, you know. You guys are very smart, you're very guided. So, oh, what am I doing? I was about to put your card away. So it's kind of like you guys already know, to be honest. You already know. You don't even need to be watching this reading. I feel like you guys already know. So we've got the hummingbird. How cute. The hawk. Ooh, another air. Oh, so much air, actually, right? There's so much air. The fox. Oh, you know what? This card flipped out and I was like, interesting, because I saw some of the flip outs and they were all like sword energies. And I was like, oh my, this is kind of heavy. And then I saw the fox flip. I didn't see the others, I don't think, these cards. But I saw this flip and I was like, a fox? That's weird. As a final message, like something, whenever I see this fox, it makes me think of like sensuality, sexual energy, like magnetism in the eyes. There's something very appealing about this face, you know? It's like very, like, hello, I'm looking at you. Yes, you know. And then we have the 5th house, which is interesting too. Yeah, because towards the end, some of these cards flipped. So I didn't see these two, but I saw the 5th house and I saw Leo, which is the ruler of the 5th house, right? Then we have the beginning of spring. Oh, that's March, isn't it? Isn't March when spring starts? Or is that April? I don't know. I think so. March. Yeah, the end of March. Oh, that's the, okay, the full moon. Then we have narcissism with Orion. Hades with pessimism. And, okay, safety. Again, more of that blue energy and some green. Interesting. So safety, this is again touching on that stuff that I was telling you about with other people's energy and you guys mastering or working on protecting your energy more so that you're not influenced by their energy. All of this Leo energy, it's talking about fun and play, and like we saw the Sun card, I'm looking at it right now. Here it is. Like that joy, right? But it's also making me think of passion, you know, hearts fluttering, right? Because the 5th house is romance as well. And then the full moon, it's like fulfillment and new beginnings with spring. So, oh, you know how like animals become in heat in spring, right? And they reproduce. That's kind of what's happening with you guys as well. Like, I just feel like you want to be part of the world. You want to be out there. Like, you want to be feeling in your power, and that's coming. That's happening for you guys this month. It's like the transition, right? The hummingbird too. Something about this card is making me think of like you guys kind of coming out back into the world. You're like, oh yes, I can breathe regular air again. Like, it feels like this hibernation period, it is coming to an end, right? This like pessimism, this weird thing that was keeping you from fully feeling 100% happy, that was keeping you in just the I'm okay kind of place. And this hawk perspective, this is your guides. I feel like your guides are helping you and your higher self to have this third eye perspective for the majority of the time, especially in the beginning, so that you could realize like, oh, this is not like, parts of this are me, parts of this are just kind of like echoes and stuff. With narcissism, this is kind of feeling like it is, I think this is again talking about like self-protection, because it's about you, right? And Orion is a warrior, or a hunter, I should say, and he has a bow and arrow, and it's talking about like that protection from this pessimism, protection from other people's energy. Again, you guys are highly guided and protected and taken care of. Look at all of the, especially look, this hawk is watching over you, so you guys don't have anything to worry about, okay? And don't get scared about other people's sexual energy either. They have no impact on you, okay? As long as you, if you say I do not allow it, that is it. That is divine universal law. You don't allow it, it's not allowed, okay? So don't be scared, don't worry about it. No, you guys are guided and protected. Then we have the number 3, Cancer, the number 9, and Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer. So Chiron is talking about that kind of healing. And I feel like whatever it is that you guys are going through, it almost feels like a generational thing. So it's like you guys have worked on yourself and you guys are emerging, you're happy, but then there's like this ancestral or generational kind of, ancestral kind of a thing, this that always held your relatives back or something that you guys are like really breaking through. So that's kind of what you're also releasing as well, which is why you're kind of in this weird place too. So it's a little bit tied with that. With the 6th house, that's not what I meant to say. With Cancer talks about the mother, right? So again, this makes me think of that generational thing. The 3 is the Empress too. So this is like, this is really just talking, and the 9th house is all about expansion, right? So it's moving past expansion, healing, expansion and consciousness. The 3 is making me think of the Empress right now. So again, it's like you guys prospering, you growing, you coming out, you blooming, right? That's fertility. Oh yes, that like sexual energy too is fertility as well. So interesting. I think it's all kind of tied together. But yes, all right, group 3, that was your reading. I know that was a little bit of an abrupt stop. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, I would appreciate if you gave this video a thumbs up. If you guys have any questions also, you can leave them in the comments down below, and if I can, I will answer them. And I would appreciate if you guys subscribe to this channel too, as I've got lots of fun stuff planned for this channel. I am on Instagram now, you guys. I technically have had an Instagram, but I have not been using it because keeping up with social media stuff was never my strong suit in the past, but I'm changing that, right? Changing my reality. So yes, I will be more active on it. So I would appreciate your support on there, inspiration to be more active on it. And also, if you guys are interested in a private reading or a custom crystal bracelet, you can reach out to me on my contacts page on my website or through my email as well. All right, you guys, lots of love to you. Group 3, sending you light. Bye, guys. Hey, group 4, this is your group if you chose the Archangel Tzadkiel Compassion and Forgiveness card. I wonder if it picks up how vibrant this card is, because it is such a beautiful, vibrant color. I just finished shuffling your cards, you guys. I'm gonna ring the singing bowl for you. I'm gonna shift this to the side and we're gonna get right into your reading. Also, I just wanted to say that Bruno Mars's Locked Out of Heaven is like stuck in my head since I started like focusing on the fact that I'm shuffling for group 4. So yes, I don't know why yet, but we'll see. It wasn't coming through with the lyrics though, so I don't think the whole point is that it's negative in any way, because it's not. I had a hard time figuring out which song it was because I was only getting positive lyrics and just the melody. I'm like, what is this song? Until it finally like clicked. Okay, so I don't think it's anything negative or something to be scared about or anything like that, because it's Locked Out of Heaven. But okay, I'm gonna break up the reading into 5 sections for those of you guys who are new to this type of reading on my channel. The first section is going to be an energy check to see if this is your reading or not, or to doubly confirm if this is your reading or not. And then the second part of this section is going to be what you have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of February. Doesn't that kind of look like Mickey, like a square, like a television with Mickey Mouse ears? Is that just me? Like a television with Mickey or Minnie Mouse ears? Anyway, so yes, let's get right into your reading, guys. So we've got Judgment. Interesting, the whole heaven thing, right? The 2 of Pentacles, the Fool. You fool! No, I'm kidding. Not you guys. That's just, I don't know. My cousin always says this, and for whatever reason, that just got stuck in my head. The 6 of Swords, and we have the Tower. The Knight of Pentacles, the 3 of Swords, and the 6 of Pentacles, sorry. All right, we're gonna reveal the other cards later. So let's start with these. Let me shift it all over too, because I don't know why it's so far from center. Okay, so what are you guys currently experiencing? I feel like you guys are going through an awakening. You guys have been going through an awakening, but you're continuing to do so, and you're still balancing like 3D, 5D kind of stuff. So you're like balancing extremely divine mindsets and like being human. I also feel as though, so like, seeing things from a heavenly perspective, and then also realizing like you're allowed to have emotions and feel a certain way or have an emotional response to certain things, you know. I also feel as though you guys have done a lot of healing in regards to past traumas or experiences. Even like some of you guys could have experienced, like I'm hearing bullying for a couple of you guys. I feel like even that, you guys are kind of moving past it. Like you're really moving forward in your life. Even if the bullies were like your relatives, you know, like you guys are really kind of moving forward. So that's being seen. Like that's part of your awakening. That's part of like a transcendence, okay? You guys are really kind of going up the ascension ladder in a sense, you could say. So that's very interesting. I was not expecting this kind of a reading to come through, this kind of a group, really. But it's, you guys chose purple, right? So compassion and forgiveness, I feel like that's also talking about like your heart chakra expanding, and that's part of your awakening. And then also that's where that healing is coming in. And then as far as what you guys have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of February, this is really striking me with like grief, right? This is grief, and I think chaos and hurt and trauma, it feels, and also overgiving, right? I feel like part of the trauma response was overgiving, to have people continue to like you or to be a part of your life, to keep people in your life. You guys overgave. Also because you guys felt like you had lack, so you overgave. And like that's something that you guys are going to be overcoming, okay? You're going to be getting the opportunity to start leaving it behind, okay? In February, it's no longer serving you. You have to give to yourself too, right? It's not fair for you to only give. I feel like you guys are releasing that hurt, right? Like that backstabbing. So again, it's kind of like I'm getting like school bullies, or like a betrayal from like kind of like a friend or something. It feels like something along those lines. So you guys are getting over like a backstabbing or being hurt. So that grief, it's going to start coming out of you. Okay, I feel like it's already been coming out, but it's really going to start coming out in bigger waves, I would say. It's kind of almost like a little bit of a brace yourself to express your emotions, okay? Like when they come up, just let them out, and you'll see they're not affecting you for the rest of the month or anything. It's just kind of like coming out in waves, okay? It's really being released from you. That energy has to go somewhere, so it's coming out. You guys also have the opportunity, I feel like, to leave behind, it feels like a shock response, you know, almost like a being frozen. So kind of like, and that is like a trauma response too, in a way, right? It's almost like if something happens, instead of like reacting right away, maybe you guys were like stunted or like shocked or like frozen in your steps. You're like, what do I do? You know, maybe not in an actual physical accident. It could be in like an emotional situation or something. But it's kind of like removing paralysis, kind of, in a way. So you guys are going to be leaving behind that like instinct to, like, you know, it almost feels like it's a shock response. Even if it doesn't like paralyze, even if it just stops you in your tracks for a moment, like, you know, like a gasp. Like I feel like you guys are going to start releasing that as you're releasing this trauma. Okay. Okay. Now let's move into the next section of the reading. So this is good stuff for you guys. Let's see. Next, we've got, we're going to be looking for the top section. It's going to be, what are your material world focuses in the month of March? And then in the bottom, it's going to be what Divine would like you to focus on healing in the month of March. So we've got the Seven of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, the Hanged Man, the Son of Wands, so that's the Knight of Wands, the Four of Pentacles, yeah, a lot of self-nurturing here, the King of Pentacles with the Father of Pentacles. You guys are getting a lot of pentacle energy. Then we have the Hierophant, Justice, ooh my, because after Justice, we have the Hermit. That's 3 major arcana cards in a row. Then you have the Knight of Swords, the Six of Wands. Ooh, the Happy Squirrel. This is an extra card that has no correlation to any regular tarot card. It's just a card made by the creators. And then we have the Queen of Cups, and then we'll get into the last cards when we get to the final section of this reading. All right, you guys, by the way, also, if you're interested in these particular cards, the artwork is so beautiful. If you wanted to see more of the cards I did recently, the last video that I did was actually a walkthrough of this whole deck, so you can see all of the artwork. It's very beautiful. So if you guys are interested, you can check that out. But first, let's see what your material world focus is for the month of March. Okay, so material world focus wise, I feel like it's really, you guys are kind of coming more into center. It's mostly, again, what I was seeing earlier with what you can leave behind. It's you coming into terms with your emotions, you with this Four of Pentacles kind of coming more into yourself, becoming stronger, more stable. And it's almost like, again, you're releasing that emotional stuff and you're feeling more comfortable. I don't feel like there's going to be too much motion going on in your material world, like everything is progressing quickly. It feels very gentle, which is nice. Though it's not like there's nothing happening, there's stuff happening. It's just, it's not going to be like you're constantly bombarded by things as this change is going about within your life. I also feel like you guys are going to be really, I don't know, I feel like you're going to be manifesting like crazy because your mindset, your like I said, this ascension stuff, this dimensional shift of consciousness, right? So, or this conscious shift of dimensions, I don't know, something along those lines. So you guys are going to be manifesting like instantly, you know, like the things that you want are going to be coming into your life quicker. You want the light to turn green, the light will turn green almost within a second, you know. The train, please, I'm running late, the train come, and the train comes, you know. Please let the train be empty, and the train is empty. So stuff is going to be really manifesting for you guys. So that's pretty exciting. You're starting to get like more stability coming through. And then as far as what Divine would like you to focus on healing, it's interesting because it's really all about, they're asking you to still take time to yourself and to continue, because with the Hanged Man, this person is just waiting there for divine guidance to leave this tree. Okay, because usually this person is wearing golden shoes and they have a golden halo around their head. And the shoes, the way that I see it, is that halo is divine guidance. And when divine says it's time to move, the shoes have the same color. So the shoes are like tied to the divine guidance. When divine says it's time to move, the Hanged Man moves. So the fact that the Hierophant is here, it's almost like they're asking you to continue to, I feel like you guys are being given advice to like meditate. If you already have started meditating, keep doing it. They keep wanting you to dive deeper into your consciousness, into like a state of awareness and consciousness. And it's interesting that we were talking about like you guys being able to find the balance between being human and then being able to see and understand everybody's motives and perspectives. You're allowed to have an emotional response, you know? So I feel it's like finding the balance between being human and spiritual or enlightened, right? Because at the end of the day, we're having a physical experience. You can't avoid being emotionally invested. So I think it's kind of like finding that balance so that you're not so detached from emotional situations always, okay? So you can kind of have a weird way of coexisting altogether within yourself. Then with the Knight of Swords and the Six of Wands and the Happy Squirrel, I feel like another thing they're asking you to focus on, really, again, with this Knight of Swords, this tornado, it's making me think of the mind, right? And it's kind of cool and detached. So I feel like they're asking you to focus on having, because you have the Queen of Cups twice, right? That's emotions. So it's like understanding your emotions, not judging your emotions, allowing yourself to kind of have that emotional response, right? Like you're allowed, like what I was just saying here, you're allowed to have emotions, you're allowed to feel things, you're allowed to get angry, you're allowed to get upset. It's not just about overgiving and sharing with everybody, right? Giving love, love, love all the time. Sometimes we need a little bit of fiery energy. Sometimes we need a little bit of upset so that we know what happiness is. So they're asking you to be okay with emotions, to let emotions into your life, welcome emotions, and just realize how blessed you are, okay? Realize how guided you are. And like with these rainbows, with the happy squirrels, that's like your guides coming through, you know? and the sun coming out here. It's just, again, it feels like it's part of the ascension process. So don't judge the process. Don't judge yourself during the process. Just realize every step that you're going through is part of the process, okay? Now let's get into the final messages, you guys. Just a moment. Okay. All right, so we've got the whale, beautiful. The moth, the hummingbird. This is just showing me your kindness, you guys. You have such a beautiful, gentle spirit and kindness, and unconditional love kind of coming out of you. You have the full moon, the 8th house, the waxing gibbous, Vela with power, and it's kind of rainbow all the way there. Pyxis with guide. Yeah, what was I saying? Your guides are with you. And then Scutum with safety. So basically, again, this power is with this whole rainbow thing. This is like your ascension. You guys are like shifting consciousness, okay? You guys are getting an awakening, another awakening, an upgrade. The moth is also telling me about that transformation, that awakening coming out of the darkness. Whale is a highly intelligent spiritual being. So I feel like you guys are a very ancient old soul. And this is also telling me about your enlightenment. I just feel like you guys are really getting a huge upgrade or upload within you, and your guides are so connected to you and so strongly with you in this time, especially. The full moon, again, that's like telling me about this whole process of you guys ascending, right? It's like you're coming full circle, but it's also talking about your emotions. And Scorpio is so deep. Scorpio 8th house energy is so deep. You've got to find those hidden emotions, right? So it's really about reconnecting with your, I guess, kind of human side in a sense, in addition to being this ascended being. Then we've got the 7th, we have 7, 3, Uranus and Scorpio. So Scorpio energy again, it's like talking about that emotional side. It's okay to have a dark side. That's part of spirituality too. So dark side can be overly feeling things too. It doesn't mean evil or anything like that. So I think there's this connection to that. And also like the Uranus is making me have this thought of like shift in perspective, shift in consciousness again. And then with the 3rd house and the 7th house, or the 7 is making me think of Chariot, which is movement. And the 3rd house is Gemini, right? That's Mercury. So that's more communication, more mental stuff. And again, like airy kind of ascension stuff. So I feel like it's just kind of reconfirming what we just talked about. So you guys are on quite the path right now. Okay, so allow yourself to take the time that you need to and to move forward as you do. Okay, you guys know exactly what you have to be doing and you've got it covered. Okay, all right, group 4, that was your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, I'd appreciate if you gave this video a thumbs up, and if you subscribe to my channel, as I've got lots of fun stuff planned. If you're interested, oh, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments, by the way. Would love that. And if you're interested in a private reading or in a custom crystal bracelet, you can reach out to me either through the contacts page on my website or through my Instagram, which I'm trying to be more, I am being more active on now, or my email. All right, you guys, sending you so much love and light. Bye, group 4.